But all right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Go with the Flow. I'm your host, Folarin Okulaja. I have a very special guest in the building. And this is honestly, you might be are you my first Princeton friend? Yes, you are technically my first Princeton friend. And we're going to get into the story of how we even met and our origin story and all the fun time that was Princeton University. But we have Toussaint on the show. Welcome to the show, Toussaint.
Thank you.
Just make sure you speak into the mic. But is this your first podcast you've ever done?
First podcast.
I love it. I'm honored. I love it when I'm the first. I get to, have someone experience this for the first time. First thing people always say is it's such a professional studio. I'm like, do you expect anything less out of me? You know me. You got to do things right. But okay, before we get into things, just tell the people who you are, where you're from, just your quick little background.
Yeah, quick background. Toussaint, appreciate the invite, being on the show. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the greatest city and state.
We're not even going to get into that, but
yeah. Grew up there. Like Flo said, we met at school, so went to Princeton. After that, I went out to SF, did a little tour of duty there. 'Cause it's a horrible place.
You said it's a horrible place?
Yeah,
we'll get into that. We'll get into the SF slander.
And now I'm in New York. It's good. Sunshine. I'm feeling good, Anything else you want me to?
No, that's good. That's a helpful background. I won't spend too much time on Milwaukee, Wisconsin. No disrespect to Milwaukee, but
we got the Bucks.
You got what?
The Bucks.
The Bucks? You have what other than the Milwaukee Bucks, what do you have?
In Milwaukee.
Yeah.
We got breweries, we got cheese. We got
if the number two thing you're saying is cheese.
We got famous local rappers.
Who?
We got famous local rappers. shout out my friend Cam Will. Check out his music.
Shout out Cam.
It's a great place.
All right, fair enough. Now we do the little Milwaukee slander, but I would love to visit Milwaukee. It seems like a cool little place.
Let me know.
But you mentioned that we met on camp at Princeton, which I mean technically true, but we met before that. We met in high school. We met senior year of high school. And I feel like I've told you my perspective about how we actually met, but I'm going to just tell it just for the people. So you get into Princeton, they do something called Princeton Preview, where senior year, all the acceptance students, they come, they spend 2 days, one night, 2 days on campus, just interacting with students, seeing what student life is like, seeing all the different clubs. So I go to Princeton Preview, and I remember you drop off your bag somewhere. They group you differently based on what residential colleges, so what dorms you're going to be staying at. And I remember this distinctly like it was yesterday. I'd put my bag with all the rest of the bags. It was right in front of Richardson Hall. And I stood there and I was like, all right, what now? I look around. First black guy I see was this guy right here. And I beeline and I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Folarin.
Yeah,
that was literally how we met. Yeah. And just from there, kind of took off.
It's crazy you remember those details, like about it being in front of Richardson. The only thing I remember from Preview is like we met and then we went to CAF. I do remember we went to CAF for the event, and we were lost because it's dark back there. It's like an alley basically. Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember nothing else from Preview besides me and you going to CAF. They had the little talk for Black admittees.
We stayed at Forbes. You remember that detail?
No, I don't.
You didn't even remember we stayed at Forbes?
I don't remember.
What was your Preview experience? And honestly, this is one that I feel like, no, most schools will do like an admitted students day. And I'm always curious about how that, if you like have a dream school and you get in, and if you have the admitted students day and you don't necessarily love the experience, I wonder if that ever deters people from going. Because my Preview experience was not great, but I'm curious to hear what you sounds like you blocked a lot of it out. So that already tells me the answer, but what was your Preview experience like?
You saying Forbes is like kind of jogging my memory. So I do remember,
it's all coming back to you.
Yeah. So I do remember distinctly, like I was so we had the CAF event. And I remember we were walking up from Forbes, and I think we saw like Chuck or something. We saw someone riding a bike past us, and it happened to be another black person. So same how we met. We stopped them and like asked them like how was Princeton, and the answer was kind of like, I don't know.
Why do I count? This is also this is coming back to me. This is coming back.
And so I was like, that's not a good look. But for me, I didn't have anywhere else I was gonna go.
Did you apply ED?
What?
Did you apply early decision?
I did, but like with ED you could still do public schools, right? So I did Michigan and UVA, Virginia, and got in, but I was like, I'm gonna go to Princeton.
Yeah.
And they give you money towards school. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Princeton. So it wasn't really a choice.
Okay, fair enough. But so then it's because I remember that CAF event. I met I remember I met Catherine. I remember a few of the people that I met, but there were 3 people, you being one of them, where I was like, okay, like this normal, nice, regular people.
Yeah.
But I felt like for the most part, I was a little nervous. I was a little scared. And not everyone who goes to preview ends up going there, but I just remember being like, this is just a different type of person than me.
Yeah.
Not even in a bad way, just, the conversations there. Not that I'm not an academic. I love school, all that fun
rigor,
stuff, all that rigor.
Yeah.
But like the fact that casual conversations would like end up being about science and stuff like that, and God bless those kids, they're probably going to be Nobel Prize winners, but that's just not me, and that's not what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And so I just remember being very nervous that I didn't meet a lot of people who were like me at preview.
Yeah.
But then it's funny because when we did get to Princeton, I remember also having the conversation with a lot of other people who had similar experiences.
Yeah.
And so I just don't think there was enough time for everybody to find each other and all that. But it is what it is. It worked out.
And I feel like some of the people you meet there, that might not even be what they wanted to be like, but they like, we at Princeton, I'm finna pull out,
my SAT score,
yeah,
exactly. Like
it's
how much all the numbers of pi that I know. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we ended up going there. When it's all said and done, what was your feelings, experiences? How did you like it? And you don't need to lie. If you didn't like it, you can say that.
I'm grateful for the experience. Grateful, extremely. I mean,
sound like you had PR training.
No, grateful, friends. Met my girlfriend there. Met all y'all. So that's good. I think like the opportunities that come with going to Princeton are amazing. I just think, to your point earlier about like the people, the energy of the campus, I just don't think it was for me.
Fair.
But I don't think like I went there with the expectation that I was gonna have fun.
Fair. I mean, that's interesting that you said you kind of didn't have expectations going in. Yeah. Was that more of you looked at college as this business, not business, but kind of I'm getting there, I'm gonna get my degree from whatever school, and then I know I'm gonna naturally form some relationships, and then I'm gonna keep it pushing. Was that really more of the mindset that you had coming in?
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about your
life? Princeton?
Not life. About the college experience, because I don't know if that's I think this isn't me judging. I'm just because I just always look at. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because as far as my college experience, I definitely came in like, it's college. It's a unique 4-year experience that we're gonna have. I want to make the absolute most out of it. Meet as many people, do a bunch of different things, and so with that experience, I was gonna make the most out of it. But there are other instances where I'm like, there are places where I'm looking at it more of a checklist business to like get this on the resume and then do whatever else. So slightly hypocritical, but I guess just for you, any regrets about the way you did it? And the answer could be no. But
no, not really. I think the only thing, and I think about this, is like the pandemic kind of ruined it, but not that I ever would have done it. I wish I would have done a study abroad program. I think like I had the opportunity to do it in high school, like my junior or senior year. And like it's obviously something we could have done at Princeton, but didn't do it for, whatever reason, like not wanting to be outside your comfort zone, stuff like that. So that's the only thing I look back and like, dang, I wish I would have did it, but I could travel now. So
that's true. But it's so funny that you mentioned that, because in the episode that I just recorded, because fun fact, I recorded an episode right before this, but I just changed outfits so the people don't. I mean, I was gonna let them in on that secret. People do fit watch, but now it was a different studio, different outfit. But we just spoke about that also, and it came up. And my mindset was going in, I knew that again, back to what I just said about college being it's 4 years. That's not that much time.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, I want to do summer abroad freshman, sophomore year,
Yeah.
intern in New York City junior summer, and then start full time in the city after.
Yeah.
And so that was more of my mindset. But I can see how other people who, not that you didn't love college or blah, 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 you could have gotten a lot of value from spending a semester abroad.
Yeah.
So not mad at that.
Yeah.
As far as we did a couple clubs together. Were you president of PBMA?
Yeah.
I miss it. Was I VP?
You might have been.
I think I was. I was trying to remember this the other day. I was like,
it's not on your resume?
It was.
Check the version history.
I think fair. But as far as that club, so we did that together. We did club soccer together.
Yeah.
Although both of us barely, but we.
I think you might have actually did it less than me.
I was more of a social member than you were. You were more of an on-field member than I was. That's put it that way. Senior year, I definitely surpassed you for the on-field and the social, but for the couple of years before that. As far as being president of PBMA, which stands for Princeton Black Males Association, how did that affect the experience? Whether enhanced, detract, how did it affect it, if at all?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think it made it easier to connect across the classes, right? For me, especially because I didn't like join the eating club or, stuff like that. I think it made it easier to have those touch points with people more senior than me, younger than me. Also, like, gave a sense of community, like multiple communities on Princeton, but like one that you could rely on, count on. I do think like without being a president, I would have had that, but it was good. And I don't know, it felt good to, host events, have conversations, have fun.
Try to build community,
give people haircuts.
Yeah.
It was really out there saving people.
Those are the... I forgot we even did that.
Yeah.
So for context to everyone listening, Princeton is suburb of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Predominantly white area.
Yeah.
As Black men, there were not a lot of barbers that were walkable distance for us. And so people either had to take Ubers like 25, 30 minutes to Trenton or just whatever nearby area to get haircuts. Or as members of the board, we were like, honestly, I don't even know if it was our idea. If people
they had started it before.
Or people had done it before us. But basically one of the things that we did through this club was we had to organize getting barbers to come on campus.
Yeah.
And that was just the whole process, which it was kind of funny because we were on the board and there would be a limited number.
You start deleting people off
so there would be a limited number of slots for barbers. Yeah. And as board members, we were like, we getting dibs. So I remember just distinctly people would get mad at this. We would send out the slots to like the Black men group chat, and we would have taken like 60% of the slots for the office.
Pissed, bro. Yeah.
And people would get pissed at us. But again, those were just a little hints of the Black male experience in Princeton, where again you can't just walk there to barber. We need to organize them to come on campus just to be looking sharp. But okay, fast forward. We all graduate. You move out to San Francisco. You just said you did a bid there. What did you dislike so much about San Francisco?
It's just dirty, man. It's like
dirtier than New York.
Yes, brother.
I mean, you just got here. You'll see.
And now, like,
it's a dirty city.
Okay, let's be clear. New York is dirty.
Yeah,
but SF is just dirty, man. And like the other thing is it's empty. I think like when I talk to people about pre-pandemic, they said like SF was, a bustling city, people outside. But it's stuff like you could be in downtown SF on a Saturday at 12 and like really be the only person on the sidewalk. Like it's just trippy experience. Like New York, you can't be on no random street by yourself, like at any part of the time. So it just made for there wasn't a lot to do. Not that I'm going out and stuff, but
but you're inside.
But like in New York, it's like there's a ton of things to do in every niche category of stuff you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And I didn't get that feeling in SF. And I think the last thing is the people were dominated by the industry that was there. So it's just a lot of tech, bro. So like every conversation was AI, cryptocurrency, and that's my job. I love my job. But that's not what I want to talk
Yeah, that sounds a lot like what people say about DC and how when you because it's that's where the politics of the country revolve around, that it doesn't matter what age you are, especially even in your 20s, that will just be the only thing people are talking about. And some people I know who left, it was like, politics, they exist, but not everyone lives and breathes it the way some people do in DC. So I get what you're saying about San Francisco feeling that way for tech. I think in New York, it can be easy to get sucked up in only certain bubbles, finance being one of them. And I've said this a few times now on here, where my first year in the city, I think I looked up one day and I was like, I only know people who work in finance, which is kind of boring. I need to kind of branch out and just exist in different spaces as well. And this podcast has been a good way for me to do that. It's funny because I don't really consider myself like a content creator, but I guess technically I am. I definitely am, but this has helped me also meet other content creators, and just I appreciate that I've been able to build that. And you just see how, exactly like you just said, doesn't matter what pocket of life you want to exist in, it's here in New York City. You're going to meet people of all different backgrounds. You love the dog walkers of America society, you can find them. You want the bird watchers, you got them. You want the finance bros, you got them. You got the content creators, you got them. You want your book. So that is definitely something that I've appreciated. And even back to one of the earlier things you said, was I went to San Francisco for the first time, what was that, like 4 or 5 months ago at this point? That was literally my first time seeing him since graduation, which will lead to our next conversation. But I definitely did notice that right off the bat, where you come from the streets of Manhattan. It is, again, everywhere you walk, you're bumping into people shoulder to shoulder, especially places like Times Square, always bustling. I remember being in the downtown and being like, where is everyone? It is a Tuesday morning. Everybody should be on their way to work, rushing in. And it was just so deserted, it felt like.
It's like stuff like that, or it's Saturday morning, I'm trying to, get a croissant or something. And they like, we don't open until 10.
Open until 10, close at midnight.
And not even close at midnight. Like a lot of places in SF will close at like 8 p.m. And it's, I don't know. But I do appreciate, everyone says it's a cliche, appreciate the nature, like going outside.
That's not that cliche.
I love like driving down Route 1, so it's along the, Pacific Ocean, real pretty, sit outside, go to the beach. So I did appreciate that. And then also I feel like in SF, I don't know if it was SF or just the people, like there are a few of our friends who went to Princeton out there. Feel like I was able to reconnect with soccer, like playing pickup and stuff with them. So that was a net positive experience for myself.
Did you go outside any more than you did on campus?
No.
Because for context, I mean, so shout out Greg. Greg was supposed to be on the episode, but the New York City public transportation is either very efficient or it's very inefficient. And there's no in between, and so now he can't make the episode. But we were all together last night. We were talking about how we probably saw you out. When we say out, we mean like socially, like at a party, something of that nature. Probably less than 5 times all of camp. Sounds bad. That's just in your nature, and I've always respected that about you. You're so comfortable with who you are. You're just gonna vibe.
Yeah, I mean, if the energy's right, I'm there. But I'm not gonna try to force myself to enjoy stuff.
Yeah.
Like. Been a few times I've been at an event. I'll pull up 5 minutes, not feeling it. It's time to go.
And the exact same thing I said yesterday. I'm now trying to get to this point, and I think I've also been pretty good about this, where at the slightest sign of interference on a night out, I'm going home.
the Uber a minute late.
Like this is a sign I should stay home. You get there and the line's a little long. I think I should go home.
Like that's the thing. I'm not a going out person. So I get it, like creating the line so you build an anticipation for the event, right? But I'm pulling up to a free event for work and there's a line and I'm looking inside and it's empty. Like, why are you trying to treat this like a nightclub and it's 6 p.m. on a Thursday?
Even that is, and I'm getting frustrated just thinking about that, because that will also happen. The amount of times where on actual nights out, you are going and you're waiting in line for 30 minutes just to go inside for it to be empty. And I'm like, what are you trying to achieve here? Is it the allure on the outside of, oh, this is where I need to be waiting in line for to get in? The fact that that's happening at happy hours is a little bit insane, but So it's much, yeah. New York has its issues, but New York is New York. I love New York, but it is dirty. The subways do suck sometimes. There are a lot of characters out here that you're gonna run into. But I said this when I was in San Francisco. I don't think I could ever live there.
And that's it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I actually stayed in Oakland, not SF, because it was cheaper, more black people, you know. But even SF or Oakland's downtown was ghost town most of the time. Find a few cool bars and stuff, but
I mean, I guess the hope is that those cities get revitalized somehow. I don't know if they will, but yeah, it was what it was. But okay, fast forward. You actually no, even taking one step further back, one thing that I wanted to speak about more broadly is because, like I just mentioned, we after graduation we went over a year and some change before we saw each other for the first time, and I was thinking about how, and we probably spoke about this. It didn't feel like that long. It felt like probably because we have a group chat that we speak in very actively. And so just even more broadly outside of this friendship, do you feel like even though there's people you haven't seen in however long because distance, whatever, have you been able to keep up with the people that you want to post-college?
I feel like for the most part, yeah. And I think it helps that the people I hung out with more generally it's typically like a smaller group of people, so like the burden of checking in is less because it's just fewer people. But yeah, I know. I think that's what I appreciate the most about a lot of my friendships is like even if we go a little bit without talking, it's like if we're in the same space, we'll make an effort to connect and have a good time. Like even people from high school, like I won't talk to them for like a year. Like happy birthday. How's your mom doing? You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that, but then you see them and it's like you back in high school and nothing's changed. So.
And I think that is the difference of adulthood. I mean, another thing, someone made fun of me. They're like, I do this a lot, but I don't even know why I do it. Of adulthood, because we are in adulthood, is the nature of friendships are going to change, point blank period. We went from in high school and college, seeing everybody every single day, eating meals with them every single day. And now, a year and a half until you actually see someone, does the quality of our friendship decline anymore? I don't think so. It's just you need to be comfortable with that. And I think, I don't know, I wouldn't say I struggled with, maybe at points earlier on you struggle with it, especially when you're fully new, it's like right at that transition point. It's like every day to nothing. It's like, okay, what's going on here? Are we still okay? But exactly like you just said, the second you see each other, it's like you haven't missed a beat. One of my good friends from high school, this was probably the first time I realized this was, again, one of my best friends in high school. I probably only saw him 4 or 5 times throughout college, but every one of those times it was like, it hasn't been any time this past. So that's just been, I don't know, a good little revelation to have. And I guess that's one, our interns were just here and just giving them all this different advice about life and shit. I'm like, that's it. The quality of your friendships will, no, not the quality. The nature of them will change, but the quality should still be the same.
Yeah, the one thing I'll add though, even with that, like, I do think, at least me, I can do a better job of having those check-in points, with my friends, because it's not gonna really change the quality of friendship. I'll see you when I see you kind of situation, but sometimes it's good to just check in, have a quick 20-minute conversation.
Yeah.
See how they doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to actually slightly different. I need to be better about and I think this honestly work that has made me this way. I'm just to like get to the point person. Like, what do you need from me? Which sounds so bad, but yeah, it's literally like, I would rather, even if it's something quick you need, like, oh, can you send this number, blah, blah, like, I think mostly because of work, I hate when people will ping me and it's like, hi, and I'm like, dude, I don't even respond anymore. No, this is work, not like personal life. I'm not an asshole. Like, yeah. But at work, if you hit me with the hi, like, how are you doing? I'm like, just get to the point. And I hate that that's sort of also bled into now my real life, where it's like, again, like you said, I love when people check in or when I check in and they're like, "Oh, how are you?" Sometimes I'm like, "What do you mean how I am?" And I'm like, and then I need to take a step back and be like, "Hold on, this is very nice and thoughtful that they are checking in with me. Let me actually have this genuine check-in conversation." So I hate that part of work is almost blend into my real life, and I need to catch myself sometimes where, again, someone was just like, "Oh, I'm doing X, Y, and Z," just like as a post, and I was like, "The fuck you telling me for?" And now I'm like, "Let me stop being an asshole right now. Like this is good. This is good." So that's the gripe with work, kind of.
No, I get it. People trying to say hi, make it feel like they being personable. When
That's what I'm saying. Especially when it just get to the point. Get to the point. But okay, so far, your transition from San Francisco to New York, what's been the most surprising part?
Honestly, probably the importance of sunlight. So,
What do you mean?
it's crazy. So SF is like gloomy. Like it's often clouds, fog, etc.
It was always cold there.
It's like
Windy as
60. It never is really hot, but it's also never really cold.
Yeah.
Right? So some people like that. But coming here, like in the first week of July, and it's just hot, and the sun is out, like I actually felt better. Like it's crazy how much that
sunlight will do for you. Okay, now I see what you're saying.
Raise your mood. So yeah, that's been the biggest revelation. So I don't think I could ever live anywhere without sun.
So you can't do London?
Nah, but I'm actually going to London in September.
Oh, amazing. Just work, personal?
Not personal.
Nice. Bet I will. There, I got some recs for you because I was just there like a month and a half ago, and after that week-long experience, I was like, I could see myself living in London at some point in my 20s. I need to do London is a fun spot. You going, Maya?
Yeah, Maya, and then one of our friends. So we're gonna see how it is.
You know, London is fun spot. Are you prepared for the New York winter?
I'm from Wisconsin, so
Fair, but I don't know how your time in San Francisco might have made you forget what life is like out here for those of us who actually operate in the cold.
I think the biggest thing I'm worried about is, like since being in New York, I got a good routine. Wake up, go to the gym, do a run, take a walk throughout the day. I think those type of things I'm worried about because, it's 5 degrees outside, it's windy, and you're like, damn.
What's your commute like to your office?
My commute's 40 minutes.
How much of that are you outside?
Like 5. That's
okay.
Not too bad.
Okay.
I work in Empire, not Empire. What's the name?
Empire State Building. I mean, that I can confirm that is a building in Midtown. Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah. I work, so I just get off the train, and it's like not even really a 5-minute walk.
Fair enough. Because that was the one because my walk to the office is just is a 10-minute walk, so. Yeah. It's quick, but when it's cold, that 10-minute walk is brutal.
That's the thing. Like, so it's a 10-minute walk from my apartment to the subway.
Oh, it's 10 minutes to get to the subway? You just said 5.
I meant once I get off the subway.
So 15 minutes walking? Yeah. Oh, yeah, get a big jacket. Oh, yeah, it's going to hit you. Yeah.
Gym is like it's like 10, 12 minutes. That's the one where I'm like, I don't know. I might have to buy some equipment for at home.
Yeah, but you'll cross that bridge when you get there. But all right, I mean, how have you gone about even meeting new people in the city?
So, one way is just through activities. So, joined a few soccer leagues.
Okay, that's what's up.
So we meet people through that. Like you meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, go to this other league," and you meet some people through that. You. Like my own promoter.
I try, man. I said we'll get you right.
And then again, there's a whole bunch of like events and stuff. Like you see a comedy show or you see I don't know, like somebody doing something outside, block party or something. Go there, meet somebody, and then they got somebody else to meet. I think that's the thing. Like it's so easy to meet somebody. Like Maya and I, she got invited to some picnic or something. So we pulled up, and there were some random people there. We just met them, got to talking. It was easy.
It's actually. And are you surprised about how easy it's been?
Yeah, very, very surprised.
Yeah, because you're not that you're not social, but you're to yourself guy, and even you're like this. It's pretty easy to meet people here.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, which is why, I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but when people are like, I don't know how to meet people, I'm like, you just step outside.
Yeah.
It's there's so many ways nowadays. You could just there's ways to meet people.
Like we were at the thing. I was throwing something away, and then I just happened to walk by somebody, and then they was like, "What's up?" And then we just started talking. It was like, you know what I mean?
I met my roommate in Target. Easy. It's easy. So that honestly might be I love a lot of things about New York City, but I definitely don't think it is that easy many other places just to meet people. There's nice people, there's good people, and especially when there's that one degree of connection where, like you said, picnic, the one person you know, they're gonna have other good people around them. Birthday party, X, Y, and like it's just it's fun. It's fun. But all right, transitioning a little bit. We were gonna talk a little bit track when Greg was supposed to be here, but we'll leave some of that stuff out and talk about our boy Noah Lyles. How do we feel about what feels like him wanting to beef with the entire sports world? Because it's him and Tyreek Hill now having their little tit for tat.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Basically, Tyreek Hill said that he would beat Noah Lyles in a race. It was at the end of him basically saying like he needs to stop disrespecting all these other athletes and like our championships are very real, blah, blah, blah. And then he ended, and the interviewer asked, would you beat him in a race? Egging him on, and he said he would, which is definitely cap. But then Noah Lyles put out this video where he was basically acting like he was like, oh, who is that? The cheetah, what's his name? But like acting like he doesn't know who he is.
I don't get his beef with the rest of the sports world.
I don't get his shtick. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it was just a unnecessary take. Like it started with the NBA thing. It's like they call themselves the champions of the world, but they don't play the world, and I run against. It was just unnecessary.
Like who cares? Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people just want to be involved in the conversation, and so like that was a way for him to insert himself in that conversation. But I think when it comes to him on the track and talking stuff to his competitors, jumping out, I mean, I don't have a problem with it as long as you back it up. And then if you don't back it up, like you don't tuck your tail, like so.
And that leads to the main conversation that I wanted to have with even bringing him up was just honestly sportsmanship in general. Whatever. Again, I keep doing this shit. Sportsmanship and the way, basically like the level of confidence or even cockiness that we expect from athletes. Because I'm someone who's always been one of the reasons I'm a MJ over LeBron guy is you didn't know that? We've definitely spoken. We've definitely debated at length about a lot of different things. We've done Kendrick and J. Cole a lot. I feel like we've spoken about this. But even, again, obviously never watched the guy live, but you watch The Last Dance, you hear all the different stories people tell about the guy. The thing that I love the most is he would just talk his shit and back it up every single time. There was the one story on The Last Dance about how there was some reporter on the sideline who had said, oh, you're going to lose this game, blah, 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 blah. He points at him, says, we're going to win. I'm going to score this much. He does exactly that. He walks into opposing teams' locker rooms and says, I'm about to give you this many. He gives you that many. That is, anyone who could talk shit and back it up to that extent, nobody should be able to tell you shit. And that is how I like all my athletes.
That's fair. I mean...
And LeBron's not as braggadocious. Maybe he should be more.
He's not as braggadocious, but I feel like with Jordan, you have the luxury of time. I feel like in a few years, stories about Bron will come out when like his playing career is done.
We'll see.
Because you already see like stories coming out where people saying Bron was like, I mean, what was it when they were in the bubble and he was playing against, I think it was like the Rockets or the Clippers or something, and he like laughing with his teammates while he bagging somebody down, like I'm about to do this. And then, I think stories gonna start to come out. But anyway, yeah, I mean, if you cocky and you back it up, I mess with it. If you a silent killer,
you also mess with it.
I mean, I think it's like as long as it feels natural to you and who you are, then I'm cool with it.
Fair.
When it feels like you putting on an act, like
which it feels like for Noah Lyles, it doesn't feel like it's who he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not adding people to the conversation, but we was talking about Devin Booker, right? I feel like for Devin Booker, it's an act. You know, I feel like he's a silent killer. Like, just go get your buckets. But then when he start acting tough, I'm like, Devin.
This not who you are, Devin.
I don't know the man. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Although to be fair, I feel like I was listening to I forget what podcast, it was definitely an NBA podcast, and they were saying that he is underratedly one of the actual biggest trash talkers, and he's been a trash talker forever. So I guess you look at him and his demeanor is just very like, I guess, soft spoken, easy going. But I actually don't think because he's not a like bark in your face. It sounds like he's more of a just like he's gonna talk his shit and let you know type of guy.
I think probably that's how Steph is too. Like Steph probably mumbles something under his breath at you, and then he 50.
And here's the thing: I think every athlete of that caliber, I think they all have massive egos and they're all very cocky, as they should. That is what it takes to get to that level. I love Cristiano Ronaldo because I actually think, we don't know any of these people, of course. I bet Messi is a more like cocky individual than Ronaldo is. And I think Ronaldo is just he's much more demonstrative and out there and showing his personality. But again, prefacing, but I don't know any of these people. We just watch a lot of sports and blah, blah, blah. There's no way Messi does not behind closed doors just talk a bunch of shit and know he's like the best in the world, which again, you are at worst top 5 in the world at worst. You should be able to talk your shit.
So what type of athlete, like if you were at this, who would you be?
Oh, I would.
What would you be like, brother?
Hey man, if I was the best in the world at anything, nobody would be able to tell me shit. I would be running my mouth all the time and letting people know because I know I could back it up. That's just the way it should be. But there's nothing in the world I'm the best at, so I'm quiet.
Yeah, I don't think I would be talking crazy. I think it would just be like, you know what it is. I know what it is. Like, if you start talking crazy to me, I'm gonna start talking crazy to you. But,
fair.
Yeah. No, I think maybe I do prefer the silent killers. Maybe.
I mean, I guess your demeanor and you're more a quiet person anyway, so that makes more sense. Yeah. I'm slightly louder.
When I play soccer, I don't talk unless spoken to.
Someone spoke, yeah.
And it helps. Like, it definitely gets me more engaged in the game. But yeah, no, normally I'm just chilling, trying to do that.
Fair enough. Another sports conversation. We got the NFL season coming up.
Yeah.
We're very excited.
Yeah, we gotta share this NFL Sunday ticket.
We do. But no, I was thinking about this, but you would need to have my YouTube TV login.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use the YouTube TV. I got all the other streamers. I just need to watch NFL.
Fair enough. Honestly, fair enough. I was looking at it is quite for a Sunday ticket and Red Zone. It's like $4.15.
They were like, or I need to find a student with a student login because I've been using the student. That's the only reason I've had NFL Sunday ticket before. When we were at school, I had the student login.
There was a free student login.
Not free, but it's like,
much discounted.
It's like $100 instead of $400 or whatever.
Yeah, it's for something. Yeah.
My sister just graduated, so I ain't got that student. So I gotta find somebody with a student login so I can.
Fair. Honestly, I might be down to split it, especially if one of my roommates we can split it a couple ways. Yeah. Fine. We'll circle back to that. But are you excited? More excited for college football or NFL season? Or you're not a bit? Are you a big college football guy?
Nah. For a while now, I haven't been really deep into the college football world. So yeah, definitely more excited for NFL season. Love the Steelers.
Any crazy? Oh, actually, we spoke about this yesterday, but I just want it on the record. Who would you rather start for you, Justin Fields or Russell Wilson?
Week 1?
Week 1, yeah.
Week 1, I'm going to go with Russ. Week 8, that might be a different story.
Okay.
Week 1, I just feel like Russ's experience and like ability to calm the team down. We got a new offensive coordinator.
The last one was shit. Shout out Matt Canada.
Yeah, don't shout out.
I retract that. I rescind the shout out.
Got a new offensive coordinator. A lot of changing pieces on the offense. I just think it would be a lot to throw Justin into that. Russ, I think his experience could take over. But week 8, if the offense is flatlining, throw Justin in there. I mean, just let him take over. Backyard football, that can definitely win you some games because we got a hard schedule. Like most of our divisional games are in the back half of the season. So,
do you think the Chiefs get 3 in a row?
We're gonna stop them from the NFC. We're gonna stop them.
You're
yeah, no.
No. From the this would be a Super Bowl matchup. You mean? Oh yeah. I mean, your Philadelphia Eagles. My Philadelphia Eagles.
I mean, shout out Jalen Hurts. That was an amazing Super Bowl performance. So I don't think there's anything against him. It's just for whatever reason, the ball just falls their way.
I don't need our season to start off hot. I don't care if we start 4-2 or 4-3. It matters that we end well. Like last year, we started 10-1 and ended. We lost like our last however many games, lost in the first round. So I'm not fully concerned about wins and losses in the first 6-7 weeks. After, I just need to see us play well. If we lose a couple close ones, fine. If there's injuries, let them be early in the season. I just need to come November, December. That's when I need us to be playing real football.
I think if Saquon stays healthy, and if y'all secondary is competent,
it can only get better. It can't get any worse than it was last year.
If y'all can get those two things, I think it's who else y'all compete with? The Cowboys, Packers.
Cowboys? Do you mean in our division or just Niners are by far the big, especially if they're about to re-sign Ayuk. I think Niners for sure, and then Lions I think will be legit again.
Lions?
Yeah.
You don't think Packers?
I'm not worried about Jordan Love, to be honest. He hasn't proven it to me, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, y'all got a chance. I don't know about the AFC. Ravens, if Ravens can get it together.
The Ravens, they have that Joel Embiid problem, bro. They got not even the injuries, it's to have a great regular season and just shit the bed in the playoffs.
You got to think about it. Their starting 3 running backs went down, and they were playing their 4th-string running back with Lamar in the playoffs.
True. So if Derrick Henry stays healthy, probably. Probably. All right. Well, I need to keep it to 45 minutes. I'm going to take us right to the... Damn, I'm so sad Greg couldn't make it, but it is what it is. Song segment, music identity segment. I have my guests come with 5 songs to describe who they are as a person. You and Greg try to say this was such a hard question. It's not that hard.
It's like, are these songs I like?
That's why, again, I say open to interpretation. But okay, so say the song and say the reason.
Say the song. All right, so the first song is Perfect 10 by Nipsey Hussle and DJ Mustard. I think this was a song that was released after his passing. Yeah, it's just a grounding song, relaxing. Yeah.
Okay.
Love that song. Next song, probably Ring Brothers, Kendrick Lamar, Baby King.
Great song.
Funny song. I think it's just, I like to chill, have fun, not be too serious. And I think that was the first song that I heard in a while where it was very clear. Like you and your friends just messing around, right? And it felt like that was them in the studio messing around.
Yeah.
And it was like, what if we release this? It was like,
fuck it. Yeah. That's a great description. That's a great description.
Yeah, I like that energy. Long Walk by not Lauren. Oh, that's great. By Jill Scott.
Okay, I don't know.
It's just a calming song. I usually like when I need to sit down, focus, write a paper. This is the song I would turn on. The next one is 50 Cent, Whip Your Head. Put that in the headphones, working out, getting ready for a soccer game, any competition, getting ready for an interview. Throw that on, feel like I could do anything like 50 Cent.
Okay.
Last one is You Gotta Be. I don't remember who the artist is. Actually,
oh, yeah, look at that thing in your hand can help you find it.
By Desiree. Why this song? Nostalgic. My mom would just play the song all the time, and so there's actually a period where I didn't know what the song was called, and I randomly found it in a shuffle on
Love that
music, and I was like, whoa,
look at that.
This is the song, So it's been with me for a long time. So.
Amazing. All right, and then very last segment, I have my guests manifest their life 10 years in the future to the most specific detail possible. Where do you want to be in 10 years? What do you want to be doing? What do you want to have?
Yeah. Jeez.
It's not an easy question, but I like to manifest, put things out in the world.
Yeah, manifest. Let's see. Family. Both starting my own family, but then also being closer to my family just in geographical distance. So that's one. I would say the other one is I can speak Spanish fluently. So I've been doing that for a year now.
I like that.
you know.
Como está?
For me, any food, you know.
Yeah.
So I wanna accomplish that goal. I think I wanna have. You said 10 years, right? I wanna have freedom of time. If I wanna work, I can work. If I wanna go do random stuff.
You want a podcast? You could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to start a podcast. I can do that. What else? Yeah, peace, happy, chill. Like that's about it. I don't think there's anything I particularly want to achieve by that point besides
happiness.
Happiness, yeah.
That was beautiful, man. That's amazing. I hope you get all that and more.
Yeah.
That's why I love this segment because, again, you could circle back in 10 years and see how far close you are from it. You're putting it out in the world. Hopefully you've done it all and you're like, oh, this is where I talked about it. Put it onto the ether. Wow. Shame Greg couldn't make it, but honestly, this was good because Greg's already been on the podcast, so like, fuck him, man. No, I'm playing. He's already been on the podcast. You had never been on, which again, I didn't realize, so I'm glad that we finally were able to make this happen. Do you have any final words for the people? San Francisco sucks, maybe?
Do something you love today, tomorrow. Find something that makes you happy and do it. That's what I've been trying to do recently. So, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for coming on.
For sure.
This has been another episode of Go With The Flow. Thank you for listening.